Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies.
Spider-Man Far From Home is the second solo outing for everyone's favorite webhead in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as his fifth and potentially final appearance in the MCU, as per the Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures deal. The film's recurring stars include Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Zendaya as MJ, and newcomer Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. The story follows Peter Parker 8 months after the events of Endgame and has been stressed by the media constantly talking about Spidey replacing Iron Man or if he's leading the Avengers, leading him to want to distance himself from the cowl and focus on his school trip to Europe with his friends. However, a new threat has emerged: the Elementals, a quartet of transdimensional monsters that manifest in the shape of the four main elements and have destroyed the other Earth that they're from. The only one who knows how to stop them is the sole surviving hero from the other Earth named Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio. With Nick Fury's help, he takes control of Peter's school trip and manipulates Peter into helping him and Mysterio stop the Elementals.
You're not going to like my opinion, guys. I just think it's okay. It's not that good. It's not bad, and I don't hate it, but I have way too many problems with this movie. But let's start positive. Far and away, the best actor in this movie is Jake Gyllenhaal. Not the biggest surprise, Gyllenhaal has a tendency to be a cinematic treasure, but he looks like he is having way too much fun in this movie. Gyllenhaal is giving this role 110%, and it's an absolute delight whenever he's on screen. Definitely the special effects are top notch. From Mysterio's suit to the elementals themselves, there are actually some pretty decent action scenes in here. I also give credit that the acting outside of Gyllenhaal is really good. Samuel L. Jackson is charming and funny as always. Tom Holland is adorable. Basically, everybody does their job in a serviceable way. I know it sounds more like a negative when I say it like that, but this kind of segues into my problems. Definitely one of the bigger issues that I had with the movie was the comedy itself. It just felt a little too modern teen comedy-ish. And I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be the idea, but I did not click with it at all. I'm sure this movie serves the same function as Ant-Man and the Wasp did for Avengers Infinity War. It's just meant to be a decompressor after such epic weight from the previous film. For me, anyway, I feel like Marvel has always been a great source of comedy. Even in actual comedies, I don't always get the same laughs that I do out of an MCU film. But the comedy here is kind of on par with like Thor, The Dark World, or even the first Ant-Man film. It just felt like it was trying too hard. Already, I feel like JB Smoove, for example, is in an entirely different film. Like he does not belong in this movie at all. But if there's any element that really did not make me happy, was the relationship between Ned and Betty. Babe, aw babe, 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 coming babe. Please shut up. But definitely the biggest problem that I had with this movie, it kind of assumes I haven't seen Spider-Man 2. One of the main conflicts behind Spider-Man 2 was Peter Parker not being able to find a balance between being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. Therefore, he's struggling with the idea of continuing as a superhero. This movie kind of does the same thing. Okay, to be fair, it's not quite that on the nose. It's more about Peter's stress level and how he's constantly being asked questions about Iron Man and replacing Iron Man and whether or not he's the new leader of the Avengers or whatever. And it's just putting pressure on the kid, and you do genuinely feel bad for him. And he just wants to go on this vacation to decompress. Nothing in the movie explicitly says that he's trying to quit being Spider-Man, but they still kind of toe that line. He's constantly leaving his suit in the hotel. He tries to leave it at home in New York. They are clearly trying to play with that idea. And don't get me wrong, I get it. He's a teenager, he's a kid, and he lost the only person that was the closest thing to a father and a mentor to him. And he's seeing his face everywhere, which probably doesn't do anyone any favors. But see, where I draw the line is that he's not like a 13-year-old teenager, he's a 17-year-old teenager. which means he's kind of close to being a legal adult, which means to me anyway, he should have his shit together more than he actually does. I already have a bias against this kind of storytelling. I do not like it when superheroes have to ask themselves, do I want to keep doing this? I see it all the time. Again, I saw it in Spider-Man 2, but the CW, DC shows do this a lot too. And it doesn't feel like it should be a story that needs to be told. Or if you are going to tell it, do it in a better way. Already, I have a bias against this kind of storytelling. I don't like it when superheroes have to ask themselves, do I still want to do this? I feel like a question like that should only come when they're early on in their careers, not later on. I understand that I'm going to be in the minority on this belief, and if you disagree with me, that's totally okay. I get where people are coming from. I understand if you empathize with Peter, and I do too, just I wish they did it in a much better way. Personally, I thought it was much more interesting when it was just the stress level. He just didn't want to talk about Iron Man. He didn't want to talk about the Avengers. He just wanted time away. Like I said, I just think it's okay. I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think it's a good film. It's somewhere in between.
My honest rating for Spider-Man Far From Home is a 3 out of 5.
Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I've got a few more reviews and movies coming down the pipe. This includes Crawl, Yesterday, Stuber, Midsummer, Three Peaks, The Farewell, and The Last Black Man in San Francisco. So keep your eyes out for those reviews as well.